Well, howdy there, Internet people. It's Bo again. So today I took my kids to the Tallahassee Museum. When we got there, the place was packed like crazy. We found out it is Smokey the Bear's 75th birthday. Smokey the Bear is 75 years old now. And the Forestry Service was putting on an event to celebrate his birthday. Had a cake and everything. For those overseas, Smokey the Bear is our fire prevention mascot. We got him during World War II. All the firefighters signed up to join the military, leaving the forests unprotected. So we needed something to encourage personal responsibility. At first, Disney loaned the image of Bambi, and we used that. And they realized that animal messengers were a good thing, and Smokey the Bear was born. And the message of only you can prevent forest fires. So while we're there, we walk around the animal enclosures. The Tallahassee Museum is not the kind of museum you're thinking of. It's all outdoors. My boy has been around wolves. They're not tamed wolves, but they're familiar with people, and he's had good experiences with them. So when he sees the wolves, he wants to get in the enclosure with them. I'm like, these guys can be, I know. I'll respect them, they'll respect me. All right, Steve Irwin. And from there, we go and we see the Florida panther. That's a cougar. And he's over there. Now, this thing's a couple 100 pounds. He's over there calling it a kitty cat. Come here, kitty, come here. And then we get to the bear. And the bear's asleep, and this bothers my son because he sees a ball in the enclosure and wants to get in there and play with the bear and the ball. And he tries to wake him up, It was funny. And I talked to him. I'm like, you understand these are dangerous animals, right? They can be. Okay. And then this funny thing happened. As we're leaving, we run into Smokey. Smokey the Bear, a guy in a Smokey the Bear costume. My son has never met a stranger. He will talk to anybody. Would not go near this guy. Why? Familiarity. My son watches a lot of animal shows. And he's probably knows more about wolves and bears and panthers than I do. And he's seen a lot of these animals in the wild. He's familiar with them. He's not familiar with Smokey, though. He's too young for school, and that's when you meet him. So there's that fear of the unknown. Has no idea what this thing is. A little bit of education and introducing him, and all of a sudden, my son's wearing one of those funny hats. To me, I don't know if there's any psychological basis for this, but to me, there's three kinds of fear. There's rational fear, and that's like, it's New Year's Eve, the bar's just let out, probably not the best time to get on the road. Rational fear could otherwise be described as an abundance of caution. There's irrational fear, coming from the unknown. You don't know what this is, so you're afraid of it. That's most fear in the world. That is most fear. And then there's the subconscious fear. That fear that just creeps up on you. You get an uneasy feeling about somebody or a location you're in. You start to notice things. You become a little bit more vigilant. Always pay attention to that fear. That fear is always right. Even when it's wrong, it's right. That kind of fear is a gift. Use it wisely. But most fear can be killed with education. Learning about the subject matter, whatever it is. Whether you're afraid of a certain event happening or a kind of person or whatever. Education can normally kill that fear. So, in that vein, this week, when you're bored Think of something you're afraid of and research it. Learn about it. Kill that fear. Hopefully, whatever it is, you won't find out something to reinforce it. If everybody did that, there'd be less fear. There'd be less fear in the world. If there was less fear in the world, there would be less conflict. Most conflict is because of a fear of the unknown. So, let's make more things known. Anyway, it's just a thought. Y'all have a good night.